Coming up, a judge strikes down a bill to fund charter schools in Kentucky.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Kentucky is back to the drawing board when it comes to school choice. Today, a Franklin County Circuit Court judge ruled House Bill 9 unconstitutional. It established a way to fund charter schools using public money. Jeremy Toms has reaction from both sides.
I've heard a lot about the system, a lot about the adults, a lot about the unions, a lot about the dollars, but not a lot about the students who will be affected by this.
The striking down of House Bill 9 will have an immediate impact in Madison County, where the LaFontaine Prep School applied to become the state's first ever charter school.
Who's really affected by this are those families that would take advantage of Mr. LaFontaine's application.
Mr. LaFontaine told us in a statement he will continue to pursue a judicial resolution to the issue. But opponents to the bill say students have choices in our public system already.
No public dollars should go into private hands for private benefit. I think that's wrong. I think that's misguided.
Senator Reggie Thomas voted against House Bill 9 back in 2022. He says particularly in less populated counties, weakening public schools affects far more than just its students.
In many counties, the largest employer in those counties is the public school system.
Waters argues that in other states with charter schools, those systems have benefited.
We're seeing the presence of charter schools positively impacting the academic performance of the traditional public schools.
But Senator Thomas contends that the best way to improve our public schools is to invest in them.
Let's invest more money in our teachers. Let's give them a higher pay raise. Let's not overburden our teachers with so much red tape.
That was Jeremy Toms reporting. The Kentucky Education Association also released a statement tonight applauding the judge's decision, saying in part, quote, "We simply cannot afford to support two different education systems, one private and one public, on the taxpayers' dime." Final preparations are underway for the second inauguration of Governor Andy Beshear. There will be a private swearing-in ceremony in about an hour at midnight, and festivities will take place throughout the day tomorrow, including an early morning worship service, parade, a swearing-in ceremony at 2 p.m. The public swearing-in ceremony features two Eastern Kentucky natives, singer Tyler Childers and poet laureate Silas House. The Grand March at the Capitol Rotunda sort of wraps things up tomorrow night at 6. Now, KET will have live coverage much of the day. We will have coverage tomorrow online and in our newscast tomorrow evening. Former Governor Julian Carroll will lie in state Friday in the state Capitol Rotunda. You can honor him from 10 a.m. till 12:30 and then again from 1:30 to 5 p.m. A memorial service will take place in between from 12:30 to 1:30. Carroll served as Kentucky's governor in the mid to late 1970s. He was also a former state representative, lieutenant governor, and state senator. He died Sunday at the age of 92. While he was known for improving the education and judicial systems, his tenure as governor was also plagued by disasters, including the 1976 Scotia mine disaster in Letcher County, the 1977 flood, the blizzard of 1978, and the Beverly Hills Supper Club fire that killed 165 people.
We are tracking some cold weather across the mountains into your Monday night. All of us right now are below freezing, and some of us in the 20s at this hour, down to 27 for London, also Middlesboro, 31 for Jackson, 29 over in Pikeville. So we do fall into the middle and upper 20s as you wake up on Tuesday, all thanks to a clear sky. So temperatures are going to tumble overnight. And again, we are dry, also clear, all thanks to high pressure. And you can see that will continue to sit over the mountains as we go into much of this week. Some more dry weather is on the way into your Tuesday and beyond as well. Those temperatures overnight fall into the middle and upper 20s as you wake up on Tuesday, but a nice rebound is on the way on your Tuesday as we stay dry, also mainly sunny. Those temperatures topping out close to average in the upper 40s and lower 50s. And again, more dry weather is on tap for much of this week as that high pressure system is the big story, but possibly a few showers by Sunday, also Monday of next week. Those details plus your full 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. There are more water issues in Everett's tonight. Officials say a new outage impacts folks within Everett's and some Black Mountain Utility District customers. It's also affecting the local detention center. It's not known when water will be restored. Water is being delivered to that area. A memorial at Waterfront Park in Louisville was vandalized. Someone stole the bronze top hat from the Abraham Lincoln statue. The hat was bolted to the statue, which features the former president sitting on a rock overlooking the Ohio River. The statue was created by renowned artist Ed Hamilton. It was dedicated in 2009 and is part of the Kentucky Lincoln Heritage Trail. It looks like the Grinch is up to his old tricks again. According to the Better Business Bureau serving Greater Kentucky, thieves across the nation are manipulating gift cards before the shopper even purchases it. Jeremy Toms and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw have more on how this scam works and what you can do about it.
Here's the scam. Heather Clary of the BBB serving Greater Kentucky says scammers are stealing gift cards from a store rack, loading some money on them, then taking the cards home and removing the sticker on the back, applying a sticker they control, then going back into the store and hanging the gift card back on the rack. The next shopper that buys the gift card loads money on it, and that money goes straight onto a gift card that's controlled by the scammer.
So what the Better Business Bureau advises is carefully examine the packaging of any gift card you pull off of any rack at any retailer you purchase it from.
On Monday morning, we saw Troy Scarborough purchase gift cards for the holidays. He just spent more than $100 on them.
You know, a lot of us don't know that is happening.
After hearing this news, Scarborough is taking a closer look at his gift cards.
It looks untampered with, but you know, it's just got some sticky stuff on it that you could easily pull it off and stick it right back on there.
Steve McLean with the Kentucky Retail Federation says there's been an uptick in organized retail crime throughout the Commonwealth. He says one store in Louisville is losing a lot of money annually due to theft.
You know, over $1 million a year in some kind of organized retail crime.
Gift cards are a very easy target. The way they're doing it, they've already got the card number and the PIN number, and I guess they're taking the gift card packages apart.
The BBB serving Greater Kentucky has some tips so you don't get scammed. Check the gift card. Make sure it hasn't been tampered with. Try digital gift cards for added security. Purchase a gift card from behind the cashier, reducing risk of tampering, and keep your gift card receipts. Scarborough is one step ahead on this tip.
And we just want to be vigilant of all the scams that are going on.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Steve McLean with the Kentucky Retail Federation says to avoid some of those gift card discount websites because you could be purchasing stolen gift cards. The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter in Hazard is continuing to see severe overcrowding, and while the shelter staff is working tirelessly to ensure each animal is taken care of, they are also reminding folks to be mindful this holiday season, especially if a child is asking for a pet this Christmas. President of the shelter, Tony Vaughn, says people need to ensure they are prepared to commit to an animal before getting one. But he says the shelter is a great place to start if they are.
Come here first. We have dogs that are $1,000. People have paid good money for some of these animals. And we don't get enough of the public in to look. And you're looking over high dollar dogs that are going to cost you literally practically nothing.
If you're not interested in adopting a pet this holiday season, the shelter will always accept donations of pedigree, adult, and puppy food, as well as volunteers to walk the dogs. They are being called the COVID generation, students whose lives have been impacted by the pandemic. Respiratory illnesses right now are on the rise in 15 states, and weekly COVID hospitalizations are at the highest levels since February. CBS's Meg Oliver reports from Louisville. that along with COVID, the lingering effects of lockdowns are still very much with us.
In Louisville, Kentucky, Chris Lance is part of the attendance team, making up to 30 house calls a week searching for chronically absent students.
First stop of the day.
Yep.
What happened?
No answer.
No answer again?
No answer again.
Same thing?
Yeah.
In this school district in Jefferson County, 63% of families rely on schools for meals. Chronic absenteeism, defined as at least 10 absences within the school year, has always been an issue here. But since the pandemic, 38% more students are missing weeks, sometimes months of school. Last year, nearly 14 million students nationwide were chronically absent, nearly twice as many compared to previous years.
I think it is a major crisis.
Jefferson County Superintendent Marty Polio.
When you think of housing instability, food instability, a student who doesn't have clean clothes may not come to school.
There is a youth resource center in each Jefferson County school that provides everything from clean clothes and hygiene products to food for struggling students.
We don't want to punish them for not going to school. We want to take away all the barriers that might be keeping them from coming to school.
Students like 19-year-old Hector, who in addition to school works 40 hours a week to help support his family.
How many school days did you miss last year?
Like a half of the year and then I come to school.
Half of the year you didn't come to school?
Yeah.
After several house calls, Lance was able to convince Hector to return to school.
How does it feel that this school helped bring you back to school after you missed almost half a year last year?
That feel like I am special. Yeah.
With added support, Hector will graduate high school in 2025 at 20 years old.
Do you feel like you're making a difference, especially when you're going to these doors and no one's even answering?
I think if you affect one person, it's a difference, especially, in some of our communities, you could save a kid.
Meg Oliver, CBS News, Jefferson County, Kentucky.
The Disability Resource Center in Hazard is creating a support group for folks suffering from long COVID. The group is creating a space for folks to talk about what they are experiencing while also providing resources. Social support specialist Anna Bowman says they wanted to start this group by going to different locations and seeing how people could benefit from this.
I've also been into the senior citizen centers, at the health departments, talking to people about their symptoms post-COVID, offering those kinds of supports, referral sources. So it's fairly new, the post-COVID.
Bowman says they will continue working with those suffering long-term effects from COVID by providing them the space to talk with one another and give them more resources. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, it's been the home of countless basketball games and concerts for more than half a century. And now one gym in our region could get a historic designation.
Plus, the forecast features plenty of sunshine this week. Those details coming up after this break.